Warning. The program you're about to watch contains explicit language and descriptions of adult themes and graphic violence that people may find disturbing. Viewer discretion is advised.
The following night, Mira prepares herself. She ties her long black hair into a ponytail with a sleek ribbon, smoothing out any stray strands. Alone, she boards a carriage and rides through the quiet streets until she arrives at the Alexandria mansion. Stepping out, she approaches the iron gate and unlocks it with a key. The cold metal clicks, and she carefully places the key back before making her way to the grand entrance. She knocks twice. It's open. A voice calls from within. Mira hesitates for only a moment before pushing the heavy door open. Inside, Cassandra waits for her, a knowing smile on her lips. "I knew you'd come back, Mirakol," Cassandra says smoothly. Mira doesn't waste time. "Is it true?" she asks. Cassandra tilts her head. "That I can bring back the dead?" A pause. "Yes, but it's a forbidden spell." Mira clenches her fists. "What's your price?" Cassandra chuckles softly. "No, Mira, the question is, what's your offer?" Mira falters. Her gaze sweeps across the lavish room, elegant chandeliers, gold-trimmed furniture, riches beyond imagination. "Look around, money is not an offer," Cassandra says, amusement dancing in her tone. "Anything," Mira says, her voice firm. Cassandra steps closer, eyes gleaming. "Anything," she echoes. "This person must mean more to you than life itself." Mira swallows hard. "Yes," she whispers, "he's my everything." "Ah, I see. Kajito, was it?" Cassandra muses. At the mention of his name, Mira's breath hitches. Her eyes sting with unshed tears. "What do you want?" "Name it." Cassandra smiles darkly. "Your powers, Alexandria." Mira blinks. "Powers? Not just any power," Cassandra corrects. "Your cursed power. Your bloodline cursed powers." Mira's eyes widen, realization dawning. Silence stretches between them before she exhales sharply. "Fine," she says. "Take it." A slow grin spreads across Cassandra's face. She raises a hand and begins chanting. As the ancient words echo through the dimly lit hall, she places a palm over Mira's chest. Mira gasps as a searing pain spreads through her body. Light bursts forth as Cassandra pulls a glowing white orb from her chest. Mira staggers, panting, her body trembling from the sudden loss. Cassandra holds the orb up, watching it shimmer. "Finally," she breathes. Mira steadies herself, forcing her voice to remain strong. "Now uphold your end of the deal." Cassandra turns to her, eyes gleaming with cruel delight. "Oh, you will see him," she says sweetly. "After I kill you?" Mira's blood runs cold. You were so desperate, so blind," Cassandra purrs. "You never even thought to question the intentions." Rage flares in Mira's chest. "You tricked me." Cassandra only laughs, and the room erupts into darkness. "Now, I can finally have my revenge on the Alexandrias," Cassandra said, a wicked smile stretching across her face. "What? But you're a witch!" Mira gasped, struggling to make sense of the revelation. Cassandra's eyes darkened. "For years, I was meant to inherit the cursed power. It should have been mine, but your mother stole it from me." Mira's heart pounded. "Wait, you're not an Alexandria?" Cassandra let out a bitter laugh. "Of course not. I despise the Alexandrias. Who do you think gave you your cursed powers? Your father, a warlock. It must have trickled down to you at birth. Alexandria was my lover. Your mother took him from me." Mira clenched her fists. "Stole him? Or did he choose her?" Cassandra's expression twisted with rage. "Does it matter?" she screamed. "Because of her, I was cast aside." But with this, she held up the white pulsating orb. "I will end your bloodline. Your mother and father are gone. That means I start with you." Before Mira could react, Cassandra thrust the orb into her own chest. A surge of cursed magic coursed through her body. Her hair turned stark white, her aura radiating raw power. Mira dropped into a defensive stance. "I have to stop her." Cassandra vanished. In an instant, she reappeared in front of Mira, unleashing a flurry of attacks. Mira fought back with her martial arts, but Cassandra countered every move with terrifying ease. Mira chanted a spell, launching a barrage of magic at her opponent. Cassandra dodged effortlessly, twisting and flipping through the air. Then, with a flick of her wrist, she reflected the spells back at Mira. Mira barely managed to evade them. Before she could regain her footing, Cassandra fired a blast of cursed energy straight at her. "Shield!" Mira chanted, conjuring a protective barrier. Cassandra teleported, appearing right in front of the shield, and with a devastating blow, she shattered it. The force sent Mira crashing into a stone wall. Gritting her teeth, Mira forced herself to stand. Her body trembled. So strong, she panted. Cassandra raised her hands, gathering an immense surge of cursed magic. She released it in a massive wave. Mira barely dodged as the blast obliterated the wall behind her. She had to escape. Mira turned and ran, weaving through the battlefield, as Cassandra unleashed a relentless onslaught of dark energy. She brings the battle to the city. Spells struck the ground around her, sending shockwaves that hurled her off her feet. One blast sent her crashing into a building, debris collapsing over her. Cassandra smirked. To her, Mira was finished. Then she turned her wrath upon the town. Unleashing her full power, Cassandra rained destruction upon the streets. Buildings crumbled, people screamed, fire and chaos spread like wildfire. Jirek and Tayede sprinted through the city as explosions erupted around them. "What the hell is going on?" Jirek shouted. Then, through the smoke and flames, they saw her, Cassandra. Jirek said to himself. Eyes glowing with uncontrolled power, she walked forward, destroying everything in her path. "Cassandra?" Jirek whispered in horror. Her head snapped in his direction. Their eyes met. Then, with no hesitation, she fired. Tayede chanted a spell just in time, blocking the incoming attack. Jirek gasped, stunned by her power. You're using magic?" he stammered. Before she could respond, Cassandra launched another attack. Tayede countered with her own spell, and the two blasts collided in a fiery explosion. The shockwave rippled through the burning city, sending embers and debris into the air. Cassandra teleported to Tayede in an instant, unleashing a flurry of strikes. Tayede barely managed to block the first few, but a powerful kick sent her flying backward. "Tayede!" Jirek shouted. Without a glance, Cassandra flicked her wrist, sending a gust of air magic that hurled Jirek away. He crashed into rubble, groaning in pain. A few minutes later, Mira regained consciousness. Staggering to her feet, she took in the devastation around her. The ruined city, the lifeless bodies of innocents. The acrid scent of smoke filled the air. Then she heard explosions in the distance and ran toward the chaos. When she arrived, she locked eyes with Tayede. Without words, they understood each other. Both turned their focus on Cassandra, attacking from opposite sides. Cassandra raised her palm, effortlessly deflecting their combined spells. As the magical energy dissipated, the girls charged in unison, trying to overpower her. Cassandra dodged with unnatural speed, then unleashed a concussive scream that sent them sprawling. Tayede was the first to recover. She chanted quickly, gathering energy, then unleashed a searing beam of magic. Cassandra countered with a blast of her own. The two spells clashed midair, creating a vortex of raw power. The struggle was clear. Tayede was losing ground. Mira sprang into action, summoning a protective barrier just in time. The impact of the blast sent ripples through the shield, but it held. Tayede and Mira locked hands, channeling their magic together. A massive surge of energy erupted from their palms, surging toward Cassandra. She caught the blast with both hands, but the force pushed her backward. From the sidelines, Jirek watched in disbelief. "Mira, you're a witch," he whispered. Mira turned to him, eyes glowing. "Yes." "And you, Tayede?" Jirek asked hesitantly. "A witch hunter," she replied. "What?" Jirek asked in confusion. Mira took off in pursuit of Cassandra before Jirek could question further. Tayede followed, pausing only to glance at him. "It's a long story. I'll explain later," she said before disappearing into the smoke. Jirek stood there, stunned, before shaking his head. "Hey, wait for me." He took off after them. The three of them confronted Cassandra once more. Before they could react, she teleported to Jirek, delivering a brutal punch to his stomach and a follow-up kick that sent him crashing into debris. "Jirek!" Mira screamed. Cassandra prepared to finish him off with a spell, but Tayede intercepted it, firing her own magic to cancel it out. Cassandra's expression darkened. She thrust her arms forward, releasing a powerful wave of air magic that sent Tayede flying into a building. Mira retaliated with a spell of her own, but Cassandra sidestepped with eerie precision. She lifted her hands, pulling Mira toward her with invisible force. Mira fought against it, but Cassandra's grip was unyielding. In an instant, Cassandra wrapped her fingers around Mira's throat. Mira gasped, clawing at Cassandra's hand, her vision blurring. Tayeti groaned as she pulled herself from the wreckage, just in time to see Cassandra strangling Mira. With a desperate cry, she charged forward. Without even looking, Cassandra swiped her hand, sending Tayeti flying once more. This time, she followed up with a curse blast. Tayeti barely dodged as the cursed energy struck the building behind her. The structure groaned and collapsed, burying her beneath the rubble. Tayeti? Mira rasped, struggling against Cassandra's grip. With a flick of her wrist, Cassandra hurled Mira aside. She teleported behind her, striking Mira's back with brutal force. Mira tumbled across the ground, coughing as pain shot through her chest. She forced herself to her feet, her gaze sweeping the destruction, the bodies, the burning city, Jarek, motionless in the wreckage. And no sign of Tayed. A deep, overwhelming rage ignited within her. Her own helplessness came in like a wave of tsunami. Her breath grew ragged, the world around her muffled, her vision blurring at the edges. Then something snapped. She shrieked, a raw, piercing sound that cut through the chaos. Her hair ribbon tore, and her long hair cascaded down, turning a brilliant, ghostly white. The wind around her surged. The air trembled. Cassandra's eyes narrowed. She grunted, recognizing the shift. They locked eyes. No words were needed. They launched at each other, teleporting and clashing in midair, exchanging rapid blows. Mira's movements became sharper, her attacks stronger. She struck Cassandra hard, following up with a relentless barrage of magic. Cassandra deflected most of them. But Mira was too fast. A blast shot toward Mira. She screamed and the energy bounced back at Cassandra. She barely dodged, the attack obliterating a nearby building. Tayed finally clawed her way out of the rubble, panting. She spotted Mira in her transformed state and froze. Jarek stirred beside her, groaning. As he looked up, he gasped. There are two white-haired witches. What's going on? Tayede grabbed his arm, pulling him up. We need to get out of here, she said urgently. What? Why? Tayede's expression was grim. I've heard the stories. When an Alexandria turns into a white witch, they become bewitched. They can't tell friend from foe. Jarek's face paled. But that's Mira. She's on our side, right? Did you not just hear me? She'll attack anyone she sees as a threat, even us. Jarek hesitated before nodding quickly. Right. Yeah. Let's hide. They ducked behind the wreckage, watching as Mira and Cassandra continued their battle. Mira overwhelmed Cassandra with teleportation attacks, striking her again and again. Each hit sent Cassandra flying, only for Mira to appear behind her, striking again in rapid succession. It was like watching a deadly game of ping-pong. One final blow sent Cassandra crashing into a building. As she hit the ground, an orb rolled out of her body. It shattered. Cassandra gasped. No! No. Mira didn't hesitate. She gathered cursed magic, her fury seething. She unleashed the attack. Cassandra barely dodged, but the blast struck her legs, unmoving. She collapsed, unmoving. Mira thought she was dead. Without another glance, she turned and unleashed her power upon the city. Magic surged in every direction, leaving destruction in her wake. Tayede and Jarek hurried to Cassandra. She groaned, stirring. You! I should kill you, Tayede snarled, raising her hands, magic sparking at her fingertips. Wait, Jarek shouted. Tayede hesitated. Cassandra's voice was weak. How? I extracted her cursed power. How is she able to transform? Who cares? Tayede snapped. How do we stop her? Cassandra hesitated, then whispered. There's only one way, the forbidden spell. Then what are you waiting for? Tayede said, lowering her hands. Cassandra began chanting, her voice steady despite her injuries. As she finished, a light shimmered in the air. A figure stepped out of the void. Go! Stop, Mira, Cassandra commanded. Without a word, the figure moved. Tayed and Jarek followed close behind. All three arrived to find Mira. She was in the center of town by the fountain, magic in her hands ready to fire. Mirakol? She stiffens at the sound of his voice, her back still turned. A low grunt escapes her lips as cursed magic swirls around her fingertips, crackling with unrestrained energy. Slowly, she turns to face the figure before her, eyes narrowed, even in her confused state. Her soul recognized him. Ka. Her voice wavers. It's okay now, Kajito says gently. Let the anger go. Mira's magic flickers, the dark energy pulsing in hesitation. Her lips tremble as she stares at him. Jito, she whispers. Jarek relays the name to himself, Kajito. As it clicks, he remembers that name Mira once spoke of. The cursed magic dissipates, fading like mist in the wind. As she turns back to her normal self, there it is, Kajito murmurs with a small, knowing smile. It's nice seeing you again. He turns away, his form drifting like a shadow in the wind. Mira's breath catches. She takes a step forward, then another. Then she's running. Kajito! Mira shouts. Taede's voice calls out behind her. Mira! But she doesn't stop. She reaches out. Kajito, hearing her haste footsteps, spins around, opening his arms to welcome her in. Her grasp brush nothing but air. Mira stumbles forward, nearly falling. A sharp gasp escapes her lips, eyes widening in realization. Kajito is a ghost, an echo of the past. Jarek and Taede watch in silence as Mira and Kajito stand a few feet apart, backs nearly touching. I love you, she blurted out, her voice raw and fragile. So much. Kajito stiffens. He wasn't expecting to hear those words. He jerks his body around, hearing her confession for the first time. His gaze softening, his expression sad, almost in tears. Kajito takes a step closer, reaching his hand towards her before he can reach her. She inhaled. Tell me. Mira's shoulders shake as tears spill freely down her face. Tell me you still love me. I need to hear it. A pained look crosses Kajito's face, but he steps closer, closing the gap. He lifts his arms, wrapping them around her from behind, but his touch never truly lands. His arms slip through her waist, an illusion of an embrace. I love you, Mirakol, he whispers, just as much. Mira squeezes her eyes shut, sobbing harder, tilting her head downward as if the weight of his words is too much to bear. Kajito steps forward and passes through her. As his spirit moves through her body, Mira shoots her head up, gasping, her breath hitching. A fleeting warmth, almost real, spreads through her chest. It lasts only a second before it's gone. Kajito turns to face her once more, his expression filled with sorrow. Don't leave me again, Mira pleads, her voice barely above a whisper. Kajito hesitates, but then shakes his head. I'm sorry, he says. I have to go. Words caught in her throat. She couldn't speak. Small gasps escapes her lips were her last words. Mira can only shake her head, as if she won't allow him to go. Goodbye, Mira. A beam of light descends from the sky, enveloping him in a soft glow. The wind picks up, rustling through the trees, carrying his presence away like dust in the breeze. Then he's gone. A strangled cry erupts from her throat as she collapses to her knees, tears streaming down her face. No one left to comfort her. Her body trembles as she hugs herself, as to comfort herself. She rocks slightly, sobbing. The grief is unbearable, the emptiness, the realization. Forever alone, the end.